Murder was too small a word for it. "You've killed them," Mel whispered, turning away in distress. "All of them." She looked at the doctor through tear-blurred eyes. The shutters closed over the image on the scanner with a nonchalance that belied the utter carnage that lay outside. Billions of people were now dead or dying beneath the sickly, scintillating green of a poisoned sky. Their once verdant planet nothing more than a ball of radioactive slag hanging in space. The clear blue waters that had once girdled it were stinking brown graves, brimming full with the bobbing corpses of all marine life. The fruitful garden belt was blindly glazed with the obsidian residue of countless nuclear ground zeros. The stately avenues of trees that had lined the capital city were nothing but charred fingers, grasping for a hope that no longer remained. Meradnius wasn't quite dead, but only the last rites remained. Even now, Mel wasn't sure how it had happened. She and the doctor had arrived on the planet full of hopeful optimism, confident of averting the possible civil war that had threatened to disrupt it. The doctor had commented as they materialized that the civil war was never going to be more than a small-scale affair, a mere bagatelle in his cosmic crusade. He just felt that it was his responsibility to stop even those few deaths. But now, what had gone wrong on Meradnius? She turned from the blind scanner and stared at the doctor through moist eyes. His tall figure, incongruously dressed in that tasteless red and yellow jacket, was bent over the hexagonal central console, but the strain was clear, even from behind. His broad shoulders were slumped, his head of curly blonde hair was bowed in defeat. Despair. She couldn't help herself. She had to know. What happened? The doctor didn't look up from the console as he answered. "I miscalculated," he muttered to the monitors and keyboards. "I didn't realize how strong the anti-federalist faction was, or that they'd be idiotic enough to use the nuclear stockpile. Mel couldn't let him continue. Not anymore. "You miscalculated? This isn't an exercise in mental arithmetic, Doctor." The tears were still flowing, but her sorrow was subsiding into uncharacteristic anger. "Billions of people have died because of you. Billions of innocent lives. All gone." This time he did turn around, and Mel was momentarily silenced by the tears that were streaming down his face. "Don't you think I feel it too, Mel? Don't you think I'll carry this blame for the rest of my lives?" The weight of the entire universe was carried on his voice. But Mel didn't care. It was no less than he deserved. Unexpected venom colored Mel's next words. "No, Doctor, I don't. Who knows what Time Lords feel, what you feel? You go on about the Daleks, the Cybermen, the Vervoids, creatures that you blame for spreading untold misery and destruction. But if you ask me, you want the universe to be filled with evil." The doctor reeled at the intensity of Mel's words. "Those creatures only seem to exist to justify your own crusade. If it wasn't for them, you'd have no moral high ground to preach from, would you? And that wouldn't suit the doctor, great and glorious righter of wrongs, would it?" She pointed at the closed scanner. "1 billion people are dead because you thought you could play God, Doctor, and I'm sick of it. Find another disciple." Her courage failing, Mel ran from the console room. The doctor made no move to follow her. Instead, he reached out and activated the scanner, gazing impassionately at the fatally wounded surface of Meradnius. Mel had just reached the door to her room when she heard the noise, echoing through the white-walled, rounded corridors. It was the doctor, screaming.